Hello and welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. I'm your host and Danseur, Trey. And today I am joined by not just a cutie, Andrew.
Hey, what up? Now that is a good introduction. I'm more than just a cutie.
We also have the Ascendance of the Bookworm, Spencer.
Yeah.
And we also have the rising of the new team member, Mello.
Yes, I am here.
And today, we're talking about the latest season of anime. Yes, I know, quite rare for us, but for once, Andrew has finally watched more than one show, so we can actually talk about some stuff.
I mean, to be fair, like most anime seasons aren't nearly as stacked as this year's spring anime. Like, there's so many shows to watch.
Good sir.
Okay, you have time to watch every single anime that comes out every season. If I don't know what to watch, Trey will come to me and be like, oh, hey, Andrew, you're going to love this show. It's very trashy. I'm like, okay. He doesn't know me that well, right? Fine, I'll watch one episode. I end up watching 5 episodes in a row. I'm like, shit, he knows me.
You're too easy to read.
I am pretty easy to read. But yeah, this season in particular has had a lot of good stuff. Lots of my favorite shows have been this season.
So yeah. And before we get started with that, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today. If you're new here, please welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. If you do enjoy the show, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and share this all over social media. Once again, we are still on our journey to get to 200 subs, so help us out, folks. We're inching ever so closer every day. Once you're done here, why not check out our main website where we've got 2 amazing articles up right now. We've got an article from our main man, Julian, who has done the mid-season review of Kenobi. By the way, Kenobi, guys, wow, the show is good. The show is hitting a lot of good points. And then after that, you can also read an article from our other friend, Ed, who did a review of the Chainsaw Man one-shot, Goodbye Eri. Very heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, that one-shot is amazing. Like, if y'all haven't read it yet, like, the author of Chainsaw Man just continues to put out really high-quality stuff. And he's very good at coming up with female lead characters that I quickly get invested in, and then writing them out to be super messed up and really terrifying people. And it's just, yeah, man, that author, he's a force to be reckoned with. It's a good read. It's very short. It's a one-shot manga. Yeah. Can't recommend it enough.
And then, of course, yesterday we posted a video. It's just a highlight from our January podcast about Disney stuff, because yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of Gravity Falls.
Woo!
So,
Gravity Falls!
I watched it. Oh, that show, it was dope. Like, it just gave me memories and nostalgia.
Yeah,
like Gravity Falls, I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. We spent a whole 13 minutes just talking about all the fun we had watching Gravity Falls, and so that's the clip we have posted. And once again, thank you, Alex Hirsch, for giving us such an amazing show.
Yeah, that show is timeless.
Yep. But with all that out of the way, let's just get talking about some spring anime, people. So spoiler warnings for all shows we talk about, but we will probably not talk about anything past episode 8 unless the season is already completed.
Yeah, this is kind of like a free reign discussion about the shows that I've been watching this season. So please tune along with us if you've been watching along here. We're not covering like the third arc of all the shows, but like the majority of it.
Yeah, it's like most of the shows are in their 9th week this week, so we will be 1 week behind on the discussion. All right, so let's start with probably the biggest one, the one that we already have a video on with Andrew and Mello talking about it. Spy X Family.
Yeah.
This is Spy X Family. I knew as soon as I saw the 2nd episode of the season. In fact, I knew when I saw the first episode of Spy X Family. It was the anime of spring 2022. It was just, it had won immediately. because it hit on all these notes that that people were looking for. We hadn't had a spy anime in a really long time. It was a very wholesome show because it was about a family. There was action. There were cute moments. There were lovable characters. I think the biggest clue for me that tipped me off that this was going to be the anime that everybody was going to be talking about for the next 3 months was the massive amount of fan art that just poured out during the first week alone.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
from what I've heard online, the manga is like extremely popular.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people just looking forward to it.
Like the one of the many of the main anime tubers out there who read manga were like, Spy X Family, this is gonna be the thing. This is gonna be the thing. Like Chainsaw Man, also going to be the thing. But Spy X Family, when this comes out, people are going to love it.
This is going to be the comedy thing of
Yeah, I mean, it's
people's
like
minds
it's
for
easy.
going forward.
Yeah, like honestly, it's actually easier to name what Spy X Family doesn't like. It has everything in it, like comedy, fighting. Like I really can't name anything it doesn't have.
Yeah, no,
And it
this
has
is
just, like, bro, episode 2, almost everybody was loving it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, yo, this show, and it's not a normal like Shonen Jump plot. You know what I'm saying? It has like this wholesome, and then like the overarching, like evil has all that organization. That's like everything.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and I love the family dynamic. I really like the Lloyd Man episode. That was probably top tier episode.
Dude, the
That was-
Lloyd Man episode, like, I heard from Ed. I watched it with Ed because Ed's a massive fan of the manga. He said to me he didn't remember that happening in the manga. He wasn't sure if maybe that was an anime original episode or not. But the Lloyd Man episode, I think that's a great episode to like show someone in case like they're on the like if they're not certain if they should check out Spy X Family or not. There's a lot of moments from the Lloyd Man episode that could like be a gateway to get somebody interested.
Oh, definitely.
That entire episode was just constant, just like how are they getting away with all of this? Like why
Yeah.
why are the higher ups
Organization has so much money apparently.
they've just completely checked down. It's not until the very end when the head of the spy organization he's just like, wait, what is this check for? It's like it's everything that Twilight spent. He's like, oh shit.
You said that you had the utmost faith in Twilight, so here's the bill.
Yeah, here's the bill.
I mean, like, I
reasons.
think that the episode proved that Operation Strix has money, but they don't have that much money. Not all the time.
I have to think that
Oh,
at
it's
some
limited,
point during that
yeah.
whole ordeal, that all the spies that came in to act as the bad guys in this whole fake setup for Anya, they had to have, at least some of them had to have realized, just like, oh, we're just here to just make the kid happy. All right, sure.
They
We're okay with
100%
this.
thought this was training. This was epic training and
my
necessary to the mission. Because they were
Yeah.
all just like, Twilight's here. Oh my god, it's Twilight. Everyone, be cool. Be cool. We have to make this look good.
The other spies really were just looking at it as a prime opportunity to challenge Twilight. They're like, oh my god, yes, I get to one-on-one fight with the spy of Operation Strix. Like, Twilight's a friggin' movie star in their eyes. It's great.
I mean, like, just think about his like nickname. You know what I'm saying? The man with 1,000 faces, and he's a spy. So it's kind of like, yo, like he's the epitome of what all of them are looking to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like the first episode when looked different, I really thought that was Lloyd. The first time I watched it, I was thinking, is this the main character? And when he took off the mask, I was like, oh shit, like this is like, yo, Lloyd really lives up to his name as a spy.
This is some Mission Impossible level stuff here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically how the
unfuckwittable.
masks and stuff work. It's very Mission Impossible-esque.
Yeah.
And just the eternal meme that is Anya.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Just that-
Anya, she's a vibe. She's definitely a vibe, bro.
I'm curious, what makes Spy X Family, like what helps make Spy X Family more popular? The cuteness of Anya, or all the people who are very thirsty for Yor?
I mean,
I
people are
can't-
thirsty for Lloyd as well,
yeah,
so
they thirsty for yours.
it's really
True.
a thirst
Like-
trap.
I think that like the three main characters are all just massive fan favorites, so that only propels the series even further.
I think
that's
as far
right.
as like
I feel
stuff
like
that's just
everyone has
happened
to
with,
put-
I think as far as stuff
My
that's just
bad,
happened
Eva.
with the show, it's a lot of just Anya just doing ridiculously cute things and just like, oh yeah, this is fine.
The Anya face, that face.
Oh,
We all
yeah.
know that face. I remember seeing it ahead of time before I watched the episode, and I was like, "What is that? What is that?" Like,
Just
get
that grin of just being like, ha 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 ha.
the smug face. I was like, "Oh, I hate that. That
I
looks
love it.
so."
I loved it completely. It's like, oh, I want to know
yeah,
what gave her the idea to do this, and it was all just you're telling her, it's like, oh yes, you just have to smile, and then her just completely misinterpreting this.
It seemed out of character at the time. Like, I didn't know Anya's character super well yet, so I was like, "Why is she looking so smug? What happened?" And then I watched the episode, and I'm like, "Oh, it was a misunderstanding. Got it." Still funny. But if you Google just Spy X Family Anya face, like the first 50 results are all that same picture, and it's glorious.
It's like it's meme level now.
The memes are just peak.
It's worthy. I
uh,
feel like it's well deserved, bro. Like this anime, like you said, Andrew, man, it's been a while seeing a spy anime. Like if you remember, I think you brought this up last time, Lupin. Like I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember Lupin. Like that was like a classic in the '90s and the early 2000s. But now, like with the new animes and like the graphics and just like it's just so icy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think this anime is I really see it going far. It's far.
It's a fun show.
Yeah.
However, I
Yeah.
will say that what was it? What was yours brother's name?
Oh
Yuri.
God.
Yuri. Just like, dear God, just please stop. I
Please.
can't.
He's
I
just
up.
sister complex.
Pull up,
Guys,
man.
This
complex.
is just,
Yeah.
please stop.
It's like this ain't a Ramo, okay? Like, you know, you got to pull up right now. You're going too strong.
Oh, the drunk slap was funny.
Oh,
It's
she
like,
slaps him
"Oh,
twice.
God."
She
Yeah, he
slaps
slaps
him
him
twice.
It's like, oh God, please.
And you know how powerful Yor is. She almost killed Lloyd in like the Lloyd Man episode. So
Oh my God, that was the best
strength,
Sakuga I've
yours,
ever
Matt.
seen. Oh,
yeah, like drunk
Yeah, that's
drunk Yor is a
like-
force to be reckoned with. Do not want to mess with her at all. I like the part where like she
You mean
smacks.
drunk Yor? Just Yor in general is a force that you.
Yeah,
you
she's
reckon with.
look, she is like got the crazy motif and very, and I mean, potent them with her.
Yeah, and at the same time, like she's super deadly, very like dangerous half the time, and then the complete tonal shift to the like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that kind of personality. Like people just
And it's
love
like
that.
she's hot, so
She's hot.
so she can do
That's
that.
can't
She can do
sugarcoat
that.
it. Can't sugarcoat it, man. She's hot. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, like imagine if she
She's
wasn't hot, what she was
27.
doing.
Yep. She's our age, so you know that makes me happy too. I like seeing characters in anime who are like, you know, actually adult age and not like always high school stories. Like I get tired of high school stories after a little while.
Andrew, you're saying that as an adult watching anime.
I know. I have to get over it. I know, but it's nice just seeing Spy X Family. Like I think the point I'm trying to get across is that it's a fresh take in so many different ways that that really just makes this a great show to get anybody in anime for the first time. This probably is a gateway anime for several people right now.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be, and that will probably be this will be one of those ones where you're like, yeah, my first anime was Spy X Family. It's like you got good taste. Someone turned you on at the right time.
I did
Well,
have
it's just a very easy show to watch. Like, there's not going from episode to episode. Like, you have your overarching, just like convoluted spy plot, but each individual episode you don't have to take the show very seriously. If you accept the fact that just ridiculous nonsense is going to happen and just kind of let it roll with that, it's a lot of fun.
Right.
I think,
like, sorry,
I think looking back at this, like, my favorite episodes so far, specifically for this sort of thing, was the episode where they're actually like going to like the Eden like interviews, the school interviews, and just the constant is like, yes, I am fully prepared. Yes, I am fully prepared. It's like, how the hell are you prepared 3 times in a row for all this random nonsense?
Oh my God, it was-
That's Lloyd for you.
It's
Our
the one
man.
episode so far where like each individual character is doing something that pushes them forward on this ridiculous mission, because every other episode has kind of been like 2 out of the 3, but not all 3 together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I love how he
comment-
packed 3 different changes of clothes. Like he's very
Not just
prepared.
clothes, shoes and hats and everything. It's
like
like
it's the whole outfit. The whole fit got to be clean, my dude.
I have to wonder, is like, is there like a bag of holding in that suitcase? Like what? How
He's
did you
an
store all of this?
That's
He's
anime
an
logic.
expert
for you.
packer.
That's anime logic.
He's
And
got
you
hammer
know what's-
space in that suitcase.
Yes, obviously. Well, we could talk about Spy X Family all day, but we got other shows we want to talk
We
about.
do
so
have other
Yeah,
shows,
yeah,
yes.
but-
It's very difficult. We could have a whole podcast just about Spy X Family, but we will try to cover other shows here.
So actually, I'm gonna throw it to Spencer because I know he wants to talk about Ascendance of the Bookworm.
Yeah, so this is a show that, surprisingly enough, we're on season 3 of, believe it or not.
Yes.
And the entire premise, so like this show, like it came out for the first time around the same time that Dr. Stone did. And it was really funny just to watch these two shows, because they have a similar main character premise of just bringing like knowledge forward from like their previous world into their new world. In the case of Ascendance of the Bookworm, literally a different world. It's an isekai, it's all that. And then Dr. Stone, just like far-flung future, where Dr. Stone is just like, the Senku's just all kinds of just science this, science that, and he just knows literally everything about anything. Mine is not that case. Hers knowledge is still a lot, but much more focused on just anything to do with books and really lots of crafts and stuff, which has served her well in her new world. Her entire like premise is like, I'm going to like make books in this world because they don't really exist. She's stuck in a world where we're back in medieval times, where all books and everything are handwritten by people. There's a lot of illiteracy in the world, and that just
medieval
kind of
times.
becomes her gold. Yeah. And
Yo, that's
throughout the
dope.
entire like
That's
first
neat.
season, like there's magic in this world. However, for like most of the first season, that's not even touched on. Like magic doesn't even come along until later. So she's not even like OP or anything. She's just this kid. She's like 7 years
base
old or
level
something.
smart.
She's like 6 or 7 years old in this new body, which is also presents just all kinds of just like bits and pieces of her bringing forward this knowledge, and then everyone else just kind of not understanding how she ticks and being just surprised, just like, how the heck do you have all of this knowledge? Where did you get all of this?
Right.
And
yeah.
eventually some people do finally figure out what's up with her.
Really? They actually
Yes.
find out that she's reincarnated from a different life?
Yes, specifically the first person that ever like actually finds out is one of the other kids. Like they go an entire year without anyone knowing until finally this kid who had been working closely with her to make paper finally is just like, there is no physical way that you can have any of this knowledge. You keep coming up with these ideas just out of nowhere. Who are you?
Yeah, something's up.
Yeah. And that all comes to a head. And this kid, he realizes that he's like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to just accept this, because as it turns out, most of my memories of you are in this past year, because previously she was just a very, like, the old mine was a very sickly girl, and so just body is weak, and that carries over into our current mine and causes all kinds of problems for her.
Got
But
it. Okay.
that's the background of just Ascendance of a Bookworm. As far
Well,
as where we're at,
Yo,
as far as where we're at
no
in
lie.
season 3, just kind of fast forwarding. So she has magic, and she's got a ton of it. And
Ooh.
the problem with magic in this world is that you need to basically expend that energy, otherwise it will kill you.
What?
Yes. So magical backup. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, the nobles of this world, they've all figured out how to deal with this via just use of magic and also having magic items to quell that kind of like magical rage within them. And so they don't really have that same problem. They don't have the same amount of magical ability as some of these people that just kind of come along. But the commoners, they don't have access to basically any of this. So for a long while, they don't even know that what she has going on is magic related. The audience says in the background, like, we can figure out, it's like, there's something magical going on here. Something's up. And so to get around this, she joins the church, which is kind of like this in-between body between the commoners and the nobles, and it's got its own political hierarchy and stuff. But as a result, she's able to keep on living because she's able to get access to these magical items. And this continues on into season 3, and we just get this slow burn towards the fact that eventually Mine is going to have to move away from her old family and basically be adopted by a noble family in order to keep this going, because she's already pissed off several people in the church by way of coming in as a commoner but being granted the privileges of a noble because she has so much magical
Dare this
ability.
peasant girl act like she's better than she is.
That is
Pretty
almost
much.
exactly what the high priest says.
That's
And the high priest is like one of like the big antagonists of just like he's constantly trying to angle around, just like, okay, you're just an annoyance and you're just pissing me off, until it finally all comes to a head in season 3 recently, where he's basically going to forcibly, like, so contracts in this world, they're also like sealed with magic and blood, and they're basically trying to like forcibly put her into this contract that would put her with this very just ugly noble. It's a thing. It's just stupid. But during all this, she gets into a fight with the high priest, and
Oh no.
she tries to direct her magic at him like she did way back in season 1, and try to basically burst his heart.
What?
Yeah. Did I forget to mention that part? When she gets very angry, she starts like focusing all that magic, and this commonly gets pushed into just shunting all of their energy into the other person and overwhelming them and just like crushing their heart. This is something that apparently just is not unheard of. But
Wow.
the high priest this time around is prepared, and he's got this like black orb that can just suck in like tons of magic. And it's like, haha, I've beaten you. It's like, you can't win. This thing will just keep absorbing your magic and it'll be fine. And Mine's just like, screw it, I'm doubling down. And she just starts pouring more and more and more energy into it. And I thought, so this is the part that I got cheated on. I thought that there was going to be an earth-shattering kaboom when that thing broke.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Where was the kaboom? I was promised an earth-shattering kaboom. And it doesn't happen. It just kind of like breaks apart into just worthlessness. But they get out of this situation, and the head priest, who himself is a noble, throughout this entire fight, basically finally was just like, okay, I now have everything that I need in terms of like political angling to now finally just get rid of the high priest. Like, he's been like waiting for like some way to take over himself and just wipe the floor. And he finally does, and that's where we ended the last episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Yo,
All
like, that's
right, wow,
dope.
that sounds fun.
I gotta be
That was
honest,
a lot
Spencer.
to
Like,
cover in like
you
just that
sold me.
little bit of time.
You just sold me on the show.
Me too.
Now, granted, I will say this show is a very slow burn.
That's the thing.
Go into it understanding that a lot of time is going to be just based around like using mind's knowledge to make books, make paper, bring writing and stuff to this world, and also just making crafts that will give her money and her basically becoming a merchant.
Mm-hmm.
A very
That's why
shrewd merchant at that by now at this point.
That's why I fell off when I tried watching the first season when it came out several years ago. I believe that Trey tried showing it to me, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, I mean, it's a really great concept, but I don't see where it's going. So that's why I just kind of stopped watching. And I personally, at the time, felt like this Ascendance of a Bookworm show was just going to be another one-time isekai. Because we have dozens of isekai that come out every season, right?
Yep.
But no.
And that's where I've like really enjoyed this show, because it really has taken its time to just try and just flesh out a lot of what's going on in the world. There's a lot of stuff that they've actually had to just like skip over from what I understand the light novels. There's like several sections where it's just like, and then this thing happened in the background that ends up getting used later. Like there's just a lot of stuff just being kind of laid around and just getting pushed forward. But
yeah.
it's a slow burn, and it's not the super action-packed like isekai that you'll see everywhere else, because it actually takes into account the fact that you have part of the defining premise of the show is that this teenager is put into this small girl's body. This small girl,
She was an adult when she died.
yeah, she was an adult, and she's now in this like 6 to 7 year old girl's body. The other mine is also just gone. She's dead. This isn't like a possession thing. It's like they have completely like swapped places. Like the other one, her soul slipped out of this body, and this one's soul slipped in, and that also plays into a conversation with the person that finds out the truth about her, which is also a bit heartbreaking, honestly.
Deep.
It's a good ethical point. It's like, okay, so you took over the body of this child. What happened to that child's consciousness? Because she is not you.
Yeah,
Where could
she's just straight gone. She's just gone, and
She passed away from the sickness.
Yeah, but the thing is that she's taken over this body, but she's now just not like all cured and everything. She now continues on with that same like magic sickness, as we then later on just find out that it's just an overabundance of magic.
Right.
She continues on with this and just having a very sickly body. And during that first encounter with this kid, he's like, give me back the old mind. He's like, do you think that I wanted this? Do you think that if I was going to like slip into someone's body, I would choose this?
It just kind of happened, you know?
It just kind of happened.
It wasn't a
I don't
choice.
control the interdimensional travel. I don't know the ethics of this.
Let me ask real quick.
Like,
the main
nobody would
character,
know.
how did the main character die in the previous world? Like, how did they get sent
She
over?
She got toppled.
Oh my God.
A bookcase toppled over and killed her in a library. She just got buried under a bunch of bookcases.
So
Perfect.
kids, your parents were lying to you. Books can hurt you.
Books
Dude.
can kill you.
So you got Truck Coon, and now we have Bookshelf Coon to like complement it. Fantastic.
Staircoon for Rise of Shield Hero. Staircoon.
So
Yeah,
if a widescreen TV like falls on top of me and crushes me, like, do I reincarnate within the mind of, I don't know, like the inventor of television?
No, you will not be that lucky.
No.
But really though, I think like what makes this so cool, this anime that you're talking about, is like the fact that it's not battle based, and that like she has a niche in like knowing things, like a Matilda of that universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
and that's obviously like stands out. Like
there has
like,
been
super
some
smart.
action in this most recent season that's kind of built some stuff up, but by and large it is about the day-to-day life of mine in this world, trying to maneuver her way through the politics of the society that she's found herself in because of her just abundance of magic, and also the fact that she is bringing into the world the concept of mass-produced books at a rate that is alarming, especially to the
He's
head
messing
priest.
with the natural order.
So wait,
Right.
hold up. Did all the books that fell on her to kill her, are those the books that's in her mind? Or does like
No,
what's her
no,
limit?
that's not how it works. She just had a very like deep love of books and reading and literature. And
She was a library nerd.
Yeah, she was a library nerd,
Okay,
and she
so,
just
like-
knows everything about the history of how things came to be with books and stuff in her world. And she also knows a bunch of other like crafts and stuff from working with her own mom on stuff. Like, it's not the books falling on her that's giving her this knowledge. That's not it.
I was kind of
All
yeah, I
right.
was just thinking like that's dope though, like because I can. It's like the commoner, noble, like that's kind of pretty barbaric, and her being very knowledgeable and having a goal. It makes sense.
Yeah, no, all this is
I like
pretty
it.
dope. So it's like I couldn't get into it because it was a slow burn. Because also I was watching like a dozen other anime that season. But no, Ascendance of the Bookworm still going strong. So if you haven't watched it yet, now's a good chance to get caught up and check out the wildness that's happening.
Yeah,
Hey,
the fact
Spencer,
that it's-
Spencer,
the
I
fact
haven't
that it's continued
on-
on for season to 3 seasons. I didn't think that it was ever going to get here, and I hope that it gets going more. So that's where I'm
Yeah.
going to end all of this.
It's a massive surprise it got 3 seasons. But Spencer, I have an honest question for you. Who
Yeah.
watched it first? You or Matt?
Me.
Okay,
Matt
good. Good.
I only just recently introduced it to Matt just before season 3 started.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been watching
Okay.
it since the beginning.
Because Matt has an obsession with books as well, so I know that he'd really like this show. I know I've heard
We've
him
been
talk
watching
about
it. This is one of the reasons why we're like, it's a show that he has been able to just really just relax with, and I think you probably understand how hard that
Yes.
relaxing
Yeah.
point is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do understand, which is why I watch the anime that I watch.
All right, let's move on to another show. And Mela brought it up earlier, so let's talk about it. Season 2 of The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh, that's a vibe. The Shield Hero. Real quick, let me just drop this on y'all, fam.
Go for it, my man. Go for it.
Shield Hero. The first episode, you will be hooked in like a fish to a worm. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like the raw I felt the protagonist the way he felt. Because he was like, yo, it's like he's thinking this is a normal isekai, like the world gonna love him like it's Konosuba or something. Like the world is very friendly. Like you have nice plot armor. There is no plot armor. Like he was destroyed, like mentally and emotionally in the first episode. Like he was accused of rape. Like everybody believed it, and like you know what I'm saying. Like and there's transhumans, and he had one of them. Like they're slaves. You feel me?
Yeah,
and
the
all the other
demi-humans,
heroes.
There's a lot of nuance
Oh my.
and some awkward things that happen in the first season of Shield
Sometimes I feel
Hero.
like it's a crime to watch.
It's like there's some things that's like, okay, let me explain. It still doesn't sound good, but it works. Trust me.
You have to see it to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, no, you have to be. You have to kind of wrap your head around some of the things that are happening because overall, Naofumi, our main character, the Shield
Naofumi.
Hero, the Shield Hero, he's
I
gotta
mean, that shield is overpowered.
do some
does.
grimy stuff to survive in this world when everybody decides he is the bad guy for no reason.
Yeah, and I really think the interesting part is like his power is based on defense, and he really does show moralities of being a hero, unlike the so-called, because the other so-called heroes are thinking of this like a RPG game.
Yep.
But Nanami is actually thinking about, yo, there's slaves here. There's lots of real bad things, like the waves, you know what I mean, of bad
Yeah.
things. And it's like it's I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not deep, not at all. Like it doesn't have any real layers, but like it does have a little bit of like the dynamic of Nanami and
Naofumi and Raftalia. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird with the bird and
It's okay. It's okay.
Elo.
It's just- everybody
anime.
knows.
she's cool.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, it's
cool
okay.
and
The whole
whatnot,
anime
but, like,
community's with you on this. Don't worry.
Let's talk about season 2. Let's move on to season 2 specifically. So
Season 2, like, yo, he has his own province at that point. Like, that. What I really want to emphasize is that from this first season, like, he was naive. Like, he was thinking like, yo, teamwork, because his power is based on defense, and you need to have a squad for that to defend the squad and for protection, because he has the Iron Maiden technique. He has a lot of fire techniques, and like, but when he goes into the second season, he realizes like, yo, he got his own province, and it was like where the transhumans were, so there wouldn't be more discrimination in people like doing, because they was killing them, doing a lot of bad things. So like, he went from somebody like thinking about, you know what I mean, like a normal Shonen Jump protagonist, with Sasuke.
Yeah, no, basically. But so season 2 starts off with, so anyone who's read the light novels are like, they skipped an entire training arc, so confusion ensues when we get reintroduced to Risha, because she was shown at the end of the first season, but we missed all the character building and whatnot with her. But so the first arc of season 2 focuses on a giant turtle coming to murder everybody. I forget what the actual title of the turtle is, but it's basically like the world turtle has woken up. Good news is it stops the waves from happening, which are the big destructive boss raids that happen in the world that is threatening the world. Why the shield hero is here. But this turtle shows up, and it will just take souls. It is sending out familiars to just kill people. Like the thing eats souls. So it's up to Naofumi, his squad.
Is terrifying. I didn't finish season 2. I mean, I didn't get to the big turtle, and that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, no, this is in the first 5 episodes of season 2, where Naofumi,
like the whale from
ReZero.
From ReZero, where it's just like nomming everything.
Yeah, this sounds pretty similar. Is the turtle like sentient? Is it ill-intentioned, or is it just being there and just killing people?
It's hard to tell. I don't think the show thought that far ahead. But
does it have any goodness in it? Do we have a Stephen King turtle going on here?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we do. It sounds like
it does not speak. It does not seem to have intelligence other than it knows how to fight when it is being attacked. Like, it has this move where it sends out purple shards of energy, and if it touches you, it takes your soul.
Is there any way to like counteract that
and have no waves?
The way they figured it out, to take on the turtle, they first had a long debate about how are we supposed to kill this thing that's killing all of us, and then someone came up with the brilliant idea of, what if we cut off its head? By the way, this turtle's massive, like mountain size.
What if we just murder it?
Yeah, hit it till it dies.
So yeah,
the plan now for me, murder. The plan is murder.
The plan is murder.
Oh wow, jeez, so original.
But so eventually we got it together so we could corral it into a canyon, so it'd be held still long enough for us to deal enough damage for it to get like a big enough cut in its neck. / they activated the Holy Church's space laser. Yes, the Holy
Church's space laser.
Shit.
But yeah,
they hit with that. That sounds heavy.
Yeah, so it takes down the turtle, but it doesn't. It only kills it. It's not dead though. So they're like,
what?
All right.
No animal cruelty.
So plan B, we go inside and kill its heart.
Oh my god.
What?
You know, in anime, when you kill something, that doesn't mean it's dead.
Exactly, because it starts to get back up again.
God, this sounds terrifying. This reminds me of the dragons in Burn the Witch, where when they like deface the dragon, it still stands up and continues attacking them, and you have to look at the dragon with no freaking face. This sounds awful.
Andrew, don't you understand? Things die when they are killed. That's how it works.
Apparently not, because it has no head.
It put its head back on.
That's
It's fine.
zombie like
What do you mean it puts its head back on? With like duct tape or something?
Healing factor, I guess. I don't know. So
Does
we
it
go into-
literally pick up its head and just put it back on its neck like a Lego and be like, oh, well, there you go. Just fit it just right.
Slap the
Okay.
jugular back in.
I think it was more
Yeah.
like they just made a big enough gash in it that it was like, nah, that would kill it. That should kill it. Oh, it's not killing it. Oh no.
Okay.
It stopped
okay.
moving, but it's not dead. What do we do?
Makes more
We
sense.
must
I
go
guess.
inside.
So, how did they get inside? Which entry hole did they go through, the front or the back?
I think there was like a portal because they were working
it's
with
on that.
one of it. There was a familiar that came from the turtle and was like, yes, if you could just kill me. Like the end of the first or second episode, this woman shows up and is like, you're the shield hero, right? I need you to kill me. And this episode ends is like, what? But she's like, she's a familiar of the turtle, so if she dies, the turtle dies, which would have been the fastest way to do it. But they
Hey,
decided,
okay. Convenience.
This sounds like dumb anime in a nutshell. Like
This
just like, what
sounds
the
like
fuck
a
is
cop
this?
out.
yeah, but we didn't kill her, so we had to do this the hard way.
Oh,
And then
so
I-
they're not gonna do it. Okay.
Yeah, and then I remember, and once they finally kill the turtle, we go to the other world. So for those of you who don't remember, Shield Hero is technically has two warring fantasy worlds. Technically, like the waves are both trying to
Yeah.
destroy both worlds. So both
Right.
worlds are sending their heroes to stop the waves / kill the other heroes to save
Oh,
their
great.
world. And both of those fantasy worlds are technically at the nexus of at least 4 different real worlds.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because
This was a detail I was not aware of.
like if you watch the first episode again of season 1, you learn that Naofumi and the other 3 heroes all come from a slightly different version of Japan because the story that they were isekai'd into has
Right.
has different media versions. One of the Naofumi's was a light novel. One of them played this as an RPG. One of them played this as a full dive
Oh my
MMORPG.
god. What about the world where
it.
all 3 exist at once? You gotta be
What?
kidding me. They made this more complicated by saying, okay, so he comes from Japan, right? He comes from Japan 616. We also have Japan 818 that also connects to it, but it's through a light novel instead. Oh my god, who came up with this?
So honestly,
other
though,
side-
like having
And then the
Oh, different,
other
like,
world apparently has their own 4 heroes, and they're all from different versions of Japan, I assume.
oh no, they doing too much. That's another 4 heroes.
Okay, yeah,
That's another
okay,
4
that's the
heroes, bro.
threshold.
What?
That's the threshold. Okay, yeah, y'all need to pull back up. I can't keep track of this anymore. We need like 3 different timelines now or some crap. We need a map to keep track of this.
Yeah, it sounds like Trunks, like in Dragon Ball.
Here's the
Z.
thing. Shonen Jump fans, they love this shit, don't they?
Yeah, I can attest to this, but this is a light novel, so
Yeah, but I think they could have did that like story way better. Like all those different like clashing like waves and then clashing universes. Like it sounds like some multiverse madness vibe thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it sounds
Big
cool.
flash
It's
up
just done
experiences.
stupidly.
Just not that cool. Like,
But stupid in a
not as
cool
cool
way.
as-
It's stupid in a cool
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, it's a chill watch though. You know what I'm saying? Just like the typical Demon Lord, it's just kind of like something that you can kind of tell that the author, when he wrote it, he was writing it from a place of like, because he's so overpowered, he can do whatever he want. He gets all the girls. Everything is centered around the MC, and there's no supporting characters that have any real depth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I feel like that's what really separates. I mean, isekais. There's some good ones and some real terrible ones.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
So, Mello,
it's gotten to the point where it's like you can look at just like the promotional artwork that gets put out for animes, and if they say it's an isekai, you can look at the promotional artwork. You can look at like character design. It's like, yeah, this didn't have much put into it, did it?
It's like this is trash.
Yeah.
Will it be good
This
trash
one
or
at
bad
least
trash?
has some production behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of or reincarnation stuff, Mello, why don't you talk about the greatest demon lord?
Oh,
Because I don't
I'm
think
not gonna
any.
lie. Barbados is a savage to me. You feel me? Because like I only like because the first line in the episode, the first thing that he says, "I want to experience defeat." Like he just says, "High level confidence." Like yo, like there's no one alive that can best me. Like, yo, he's like the strongest person. Like let me reincarnate. Then when he's a kid. Later, he gets reincarnated as Ard Meteor. When he's Ard Meteor, he has the intelligence of a demon lord, like 1,000-year-old king. He's like feeling anxiety, and then he's mad because he can't find friends as a little kid. And then he's like the dynamics of it. And then he grows up, he gets older, he comes like to high school. And when he gets to high school, he's extremely popular because he's like super good with magic. You know what I'm saying? Or like, but like the system, the way it works, it's actually pretty nice. Like the power system, because like there's like spell casting. Like, you know what I mean? So he was challenged by a fellow student, and it was a duel. They went outside, and the other student said this is a fire flare. And since he's the demon lord, he knows like all the spells and where they come from, and he knows what the real fire flare is. And he said this is a disrespect to the person that created it. So he did a real fire flare, and then he like did a double cast of the spell. Like he did like a shield. He shielded his opponent while attacking him with it, so he wouldn't even be hurt. And the teacher was like, yo, that hasn't been seen. It's like a lost talent that hasn't been seen in thousands of years. You know, like the isekai, they always make the main characters so like wildly special in the world, where it's like, oh my god, we've never seen that before. And then he gets elevated to teacher, and like all the girls is on him, and like it but then the best, like what I like about it personally is like animes like that, overpowered. I want to see somebody that's on his level. I mean, that can actually put up a fight with him, because he wants to experience defeat, and I want to see him get his ass whooped.
Yeah,
So,
no, definitely.
there's a connection.
Yeah,
So,
kind
Mel,
of
I
bring
gotta-
him down a little bit. Yeah.
So I got
that
a
would be
question for
nice.
you, Mello. Have you seen the show the Misfit at Demon Lord Academy?
I haven't.
It's basically the same premise. It's just the guys.
It's exactly
I feel like
the same premise.
It's exactly the same premise,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's what it sounds like.
But the difference is that Unknown's Voldy Gold is just more Chad. He's just more Chad than this guy will ever be.
You serious? Because
I'm
I'm feeling like, yo, he has this royal vibe of like, you feel me? Like, I don't understand the stratum. Like he I don't know. Yeah,
Like,
I gotta check it out now.
You know, the Misfit at Demon Lord Academy, dude is chattiest of Chad.
So I'm about to put that on my anime list.
All right, so let's go back to something a little more popular. Time for some lack of communication.
Yes! Yes! Fucking Komi!
Communicate season 2.
This show is so freaking good. This show is so freaking good. It will cure your depression. It will cure AIDS. It will cure like your hatred of yourself. It will just make everything better in your life. Look, okay, so Komi is such a special show in my heart, and like I'm so happy he got a second season. But let me tell you guys how I found out that the second season already started airing. Behold, it's like Wednesday night, 1 a.m., and I'm editing videos for the channel, and I'm super tired. I can't wait to go to bed, and I'm just scrolling through Twitter real quick as like a procrastination break thing. And I just see one tweet in my TL that says like, oh yeah, like Komi-san's like really great right now. I just saw this like new episode that came out today. And it's a screenshot from an episode I haven't seen yet. And I recognize that. And I just shouted at the top of my lungs in my bedroom, what do you mean season 2 came out already? What? Where? When? How? And I immediately went to Netflix and found out I was like 3 episodes behind. And I stayed up till 2:30
when
binging.
It came out on when the first episode came out.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that message.
You did, because you reacted to it. You reacted to it.
I don't remember this at all. So
What's your favorite aspect of Komi can't communicate?
I think it's Komi's excitement. when she sees something that she wants to do, like she immediately knows that she wants to try something different and just kind of like make her life a little bit more whole.
Yeah.
And then it's her experiencing the anxiety, right? She wants to do something, but she's afraid. So she kind of has to get pushed in the right direction. You know, she'll like stumble and fall, sometimes literally, unfortunately. But I really respect how she keeps getting up and trying again, because she wants to make new friends. She wants to like have a life that she's proud of. And I empathize with that a lot. It's really difficult to muster up the courage sometimes to get out of your comfort zone and experience something new. And that's literally the whole premise of the show. Every episode, every half episode, she's trying another new thing, like going to Subway and ordering a sandwich for the first time on her own in the big city, or you know, like trying
it's like a thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or she'll like try on a kimono and like, you know, hand out stamps and stuff to people in like, you know, the country while visiting her family. Or
I love the winter episode. The episodes so far have been all mostly winter themed, so it's been nice and chilly.
Komi is not like, the show is not just about Komi herself. It's also about all the other side characters. There's so many unique characters in this show that all have their own archetypes, their own struggles socially, you know, in terms of like what they want to grow up to be. It's really interesting seeing how there's this wide array of different characters, and they all portray a little bit of a different issue that kids have with like social anxiety growing up. So
Exactly. And I feel like you just said like an extremely important point, that Komi isn't the only person that can't communicate, and Komi can't communicate, if that makes sense. You know?
One dude though.
Oh, Kitai.
Yeah.
Kitai is his name. The
he's the realist.
big muscular dude.
No, I can't believe I forgot his name. The one that's always with Komi, helping her.
Adano.
He is the realist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he like understood, and like because her anxiety made people feel like she has that look on her face, and it's like the King's effect from Saitama, One Punch Man. It's like, yo, like it's like it seems like she's like I don't know, like making you feel scared. She doesn't want to be around you, but in fact she's actually fidgety and very afraid inside. And I feel like that's like some human shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like normal. And like hella people can resonate to that. Like, and the other people in the show, I feel like everyone that watches this show can find one of the characters that feel like them. You know what I'm saying?
You can find somebody to relate to.
Except for Yamai. No one should relate to Yamai.
Yeah, that's true. Like, Yamai is like the only bad thing about this show. Like, every time Yamai is on screen, like, I want to fast forward to a part that she's not in it. Oh, hey, real quick. We got a comment from someone named Glitch Render. They mentioned summertime rendering.
Yeah, it's an anime that came out this season, but I know nothing about the show. I don't even think
I
would watch it.
Heard about it. I haven't watched it. Glitch Render, if you wouldn't mind, just like give us like a brief like synopsis. Like, what is it about? Yeah, going back to Komi though, there's so many different cool characters. I really like how Tadano, you know, he is the normal realist, right? But that's because he experienced this traumatic part of his middle school life where he was all chunibyo. He was very like flamboyant and all obsessed with the cool fantasy aspect, and then he got shot down by the girl he liked and completely casts aside the stuff that he loved and said, I'm never gonna get hurt again. I'm gonna be normal just like the rest of them. You know, that's a very, I wouldn't say it's just a very Japanese concept socially, but that is a big part of Japanese culture, is like not like standing out too much and kind of blending in with everybody. And I think the same can still be said about American culture too, is like, especially growing up in high school. You know, if you're not socially acceptable within your classroom or among your friends, then they will just kind of stop interacting with you.
It's palpable.
Yeah, it's very sad and relatable, but it's you You know, like that gives Tadano the basis to talk to Komi and understand her in a way that nobody else does, because he gets it. He gets the desire to belong, in spite of who you are.
Nice.
So
quickly on summertime rendering, I just Googled it, and apparently it's on Disney Plus, which means it's probably in Disney Plus in another country.
Oh, yep. Yeah, because Disney Plus has the exclusive airing rights to a handful of anime this season.
Yeah.
One of which is Black Rock Shooter
Disney
Dawnfall. Yeah, summertime rendering. I hear it's a very gorgeous show. Any of the shows on Disney Plus have like a lot of budget right now.
Yeah, I got the synopsis in front of me. I could read it for y'all. You know,
Yeah, go
it
ahead.
says what? Since the death of his parents, Shinpei Akiro had lived with the Komi Homeful family. I'm butchering the names, and their two daughters, Mio and Yushio. Although he then left his home island to continue his education in Tokyo, Shinpei, the protagonist, returns after Yushio tragically drowns during the attempted rescue of a little girl. During the funeral, his best friend informs him about bruises found around Ushiro's neck, casting out over cause her death. So I think this is a murder mystery.
This is murder mystery,
manga.
is
Yeah,
what this is.
ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I was not aware
Yo, I
of that.
haven't seen that in a while.
No,
I'll be
there's a
honest.
reason why it's not here in America on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, like
I could go into a whole
was-
rant about Disney Plus and needing to fix how they're dealing with shows, but that's another thing to say.
That's another podcast or another
That's
video.
another
topic we can
podcast
talk
entirely.
about. But yeah, no,
Honestly, I
that
never
is really
fucking
cool.
used to.
I haven't watched a good murder mystery in a really long time, actually. Personally, my preference is the happier, like the bright slice of life shows. I just gravitate towards those. But
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for a murder mystery. I'll check that out.
How,
Let's see.
Andrew? It's available in
popular,
America.
It's
Oh, well.
1,000.
I'm sure.
it's
I'm
ranked
sure some kind soul on Reddit probably has it somewhere. Who knows? We'll see.
And
I'll wait till
So,
it gets
like, every
localized. How
anime-
about that?
There we go. Attaboy.
Get out of here. Gosh.
But
Okay.
you guys want to keep talking about Komi? Because Komi, I'm not gonna lie, I personally feel like, whenever I feel like down, man, I watch Komi.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Komi, she brings me back to like my I don't know, homostasis, like
Yeah.
homostasis
Yeah,
Komi will
Komi
cure
at the
cancer,
level.
dude. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we talked enough about Komi, but she
No,
is
we have not.
oppression.
No, we have not. No, we're still talking about Komi.
Andrew.
Mello, you keep what you're doing, okay? Keep
Nah,
talking about
man,
Komi. We need more.
It's like we need to talk about a few other shows. So while we're on Netflix real quick, Spencer, you wanted to talk about Pacific Rim?
Yeah, so this is a CG anime on Netflix that I decided just to watch because season 2 came out and I hadn't seen season 1. I wanted to give something a try because I remember watching the original Pacific Rim movie and just being like, oh, this is great. And then the second movie was just like, whatever.
The second movie was just Power Rangers.
Yeah. And
I didn't even
the
watch
first
the second
season
one.
of Pacific Rim The Black kind of just sets up a world where like they're down in Australia, and after a massive kaiju attack that just forces them all to leave, and the pilots of this one what's the
Jaeger?
Jaeger, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They save their children along with just a bus full of other kids that were being attacked during the city, and they take them out to this like kind of like oasis area out in the back ends of Australia, and they said, we need to leave you here, we need to go to Sydney and get help. And unfortunately the parents never come back. Flash forward, and where they left their kids was nearby an old military base that's supposed to have a Jaeger that was supposed to have like destroyed itself. But the kids, they find it, and well, they wake it up and a kaiju comes attack, and it's just a whole big just chaotic mess. And So they set off in their mech, and they just basically go on the same journey that their parents were supposed to go
Pacific
on.
Rim is basically just modern day
Other-
Evangelion / Gundam.
It really is, and the thing is that
Evangelion is classic.
so like this show is extraordinarily short. The two
Okay.
seasons, each season is only 7 episodes. So overall,
Oh.
there's only 14 episodes of content.
Netflix. So
Yes,
what are you gonna do?
Netflix kind of. I don't really know exactly what
I
happened.
mean, are they doing the hour an episode thing?
No, it's half-hour episode. It's like 20-minute episodes.
Okay.
So it's not very long. And on its own, that's not a big deal. But for this show in particular, it definitely felt like they were skipping like plot arcs,
Oh.
like things.
It's like half it's an original show.
It's like they're like I can see, especially when we get into season 2, where we have some character interactions that, from the context of what we saw of that character earlier, just doesn't make sense. It's a pathway that I could see for that character, but it all just feels hollow because we didn't get to see any kind of development. This guy named Shane that I'm referring to is basically like the leader of kind of like this kind of militaristic like bandit group in the Black, which is what they call the outskirts of Australia after the kaiju attack. And he has just a whole like military group, and he has a partner named May, and she's practically his daughter. Later on, we find out that no, she's not his daughter. He stole her, and from her real parents, and basically took her memories via Jaeger mind link bullshit.
Oh man.
And then later on in season 2, we end up getting a resolution to this where Shane has to help this other woman like kind of get out of her head. But it's like a very dangerous thing. Like they link inside the Jaeger, and Shane doesn't make it out. He dies in the process. And this is all just like, oh, so heartful. And it's like, and he went through this whole effort to do this at the goodness of his heart, but it doesn't make sense because we didn't see any kind of emotional change in his character at all. Like I said, it's an endpoint that I could see for a character like that, but we didn't get any build up, and it just made me sad. I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Does it feel like there really wasn't a reason to care about the death?
Yes. And the thing, this is the other problem that I have with this show. This is going to be a show where I'm going to say more bad things about it than I am good things about it, unfortunately. Because
that's amazing, because I feel like anime criticism has almost died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
It really is. That part of the show is really just a case of things were too compressed and they just skipped over a bunch of stuff. They had a decent idea. It's a decent like character progression that I can see happening. The other thing that happened was that during season 1, our main 2 characters who pilot the Jaeger, they find one of the Jaeger like military bases, and within it they find this kid in just a vat, just full of just like suspended in liquid. And they're just like, holy crap, like what's this kid doing here? We have to get him out of here before like these mini kaiju like find us. And so they do. And so for the longest time, we just have this kid who's just kind of mute. He doesn't talk or anything. He's just there. And the main female lead, she gets attached to him as like kind of like a brother character. And they don't really know what to do with him. And then at the very end of the season, he turns into a fucking kaiju.
Wow.
What? That can happen?
He turns into a kaiju. He's some weird human kaiju hybrid.
Well, that explains anime.
Also, we have another section which is actually cooler in that there is a Jaeger that got overtaken with like kaiju cells or something and becomes like a Jaeger kaiju hybrid, and it's freaky as all heck, and it's like, oh, you're going to kill us all.
Ugh.
But it doesn't, because it gets along with the kid.
Okay,
What?
then.
Are the
Okay.
machines sentient? I have
It's
one more
all
question. Are
it's
the
all just
machines
like
sentient?
crazy, but that's not even the craziest part that happens in this show. We get to
the
the first season finale, and at the very end, like we've had some like allusions to a third like faction out in the black called the Sisters, but they've never really been seen. And then we get up to that point. All we know is just like hearsay about how they're just like terrifying women. You don't want to deal with them. Like we're all terrified of them. Just stay away from them. We get to the end of that, and it turns out that they worship the kaiju. Like this
Of course they
these
do.
sisters. It's like a kaiju worshiping cult.
Of course they
Okay.
do.
And they have like kaiju blood running through their veins as well, and it's
Oh,
a
no, that's
whole thing
bad.
to do.
That's-
It's
Oh,
just like,
how did
what
they do
the
that?
Fuck? And they think of the kid as their messiah.
I was about to say, this kaiju
Jesus.
Oh,
He is
God.
kaiju
Oh, God,
Jesus, and I'm just
yeah.
like, what am I even watching anymore? What the fuck is
No,
this?
I'm sorry. I had to laugh, but that was hilarious. Yo,
And so this whole back and
that's
forth
wild.
goes of like they're wanting the kid. The kid gets poisoned, and they're trying to dash away from the sisters, and they kind of get pinned down. And our main like characters, the main three, they're caught in the Jaeger in this area, and they're down and in need of like some basic repairs. But these sisters, they can also like control some of the kaiju.
Of course they can.
And so they want the kid, but they're not going to do anything specifically to them like super like aggressive because they don't want to harm the kid. So we've got like this three-way intersection of like differing opinions about what needs to be done. The main female lead, she wants to take the kid to them with her along in tow so that way she can keep an eye on things so that way they can heal him. But she's obviously that's obviously going to get her killed. So the brother's not having that. He wants to dump the kids so that way they can leave. And then finally, May, the girl from earlier that had the whole character thing with Shane, she's in with all this and says like, no, we can't get rid of the kid, but not because I care about the kid, but because he's our leverage and what's preventing them from actually like really coming down on us with like category 3 and 4 kaiju.
Oh boy.
Not too
So it's just like
shabby.
it's all just fucked. But then
So-
we get Deus Ex Machina from Shane arriving,
But do you
and
feel like, do you feel like it's worth watching though?
That's the question.
it's
I'm saying
Yeah.
that pause just told me
okay,
a lot.
but I don't really think that it was worth my time, especially in season 2, especially in the latter half of season 2, like the final like several
Yeah.
episodes, because guess what? They find their mom. She's alive. Unfortunately, she was taken over by the sisters.
Oh my
The
god.
person that Shane
Okay.
had to like mind link with to save, that was her to get her out of the whole sisterhood like hive mind bullshit link.
Oh my
This is
god.
getting
So Shane
really
died.
Oh my
complicated.
god, that is terrifying.
And then
You know that-
she has to help them get the kid back. And then she dies.
Oh my god.
And it's just like we brought her back just to kill her. But it's not only just that. Oh, I'm just giving everything away because I don't care if you guys see any of this.
No, I mean, no, I don't care either. Like, I'm
Yeah.
curious now. This sounds
Full
just like a
spoilers,
massive
full
mountain.
spoilers.
Yeah, it's full
Yes.
spoilers. You should have known that before starting the podcast. But so before she dies, apparently, like in between episodes, we're like the audience isn't shown this. We're see the Jaeger that they're piloting, and everyone arrive at the Sydney base, and everyone's happy that they're finally there, and they all disembark the Jaeger, and they walk up to the military guys like, hey, it's like we managed to get out of this terrible situation. By the way, is our dad / husband here? And he comes out in a truck, and he is miraculously alive, and it's this whole big like, it's like, oh
And
man,
then
it's
they
like,
lock you
oh
up.
dang, this
Let me.
was all a dream.
What?
They put her in
I
the
hate those
Jaeger to
explanations.
make it so that Haley, the female character, could link with her to give her like a happy memory before her death. But we as the audience didn't know this. And I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah, no, this goes in the garbage pile.
That's a mind fuck for real.
I could be annoyed with that and just be like, whatever. Eventually, though, we do get to Sydney base. And after being attacked by like a kaiju that's being controlled by the sisters and getting the kid back and unscrewing his head from all of the cult witch screwery that they did to him, like they get there, they fight a big Cat 6. The AI in the Jaeger sacrifices itself to blow up the Cat 6 and make it so that everyone's safe. They finally get to the end. They finally all walk to Sydney base, and they're greeted there by the commander there. He's like, hey, how's it going? By the way, is our father here? And he comes out in the same truck from the dream, and it's real this time, except the mother isn't there. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I hate it. I hate this show. I hate it already.
Why did they
Guillermo
do
del
that?
Toro, he didn't write this, did he?
No.
Did he?
No.
Okay, good. It's
Point
still
is
bad.
that I've
CGI
ranted about
animes,
this.
I've
Like,
always
I
been
enjoyed like
sketchy.
the first like season of it. Like, it was interesting. It felt like we were getting like some setup for a world, and then everything just went topsy-turvy tomfuckery on me in the second season. And I just needed to rant for a bit.
So, is there going to be a season 3, and will you watch it?
No, that was the end of the show.
Good.
That was it.
I'm just
man.
like,
That
God
was
damn
boom.
it. This could have been a good show. I went through and just like mentally in like the 2 hours after watching this was just like, okay, if we extended this here, if we did a little more backstory with here, if we got some more info, like if we had kept this character around for longer and then actually like made like the mother's thing like actually more meaningful, I could have accepted a lot of this stuff, but they just rushed things and made things dumb, and I didn't like it. I'm just like, what happened here?
Like, sometimes I question myself. Sometimes when I'm watching like very bad anime, I won't name them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's fans to all anime. You feel me? It's
Yeah.
love to them. But it's like, it's like certain motifs just being constantly repeated, and then like even like what you were saying, Shadow, with like like imagine like a good first season is like a tease if the second season is garbage, and there's no such thing as coming back in the third season, because like the way the story works, it's like you already set things up. Like I just like, I don't know, but I like
Star Wars.
just all the points you made. Like I feel like it's worth a pilot. Check it out, see if it's viable.
Yeah, like I don't regret my time like watching the first season. I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't like the greatest show that I had ever seen or anything. Like, it was fine. Like, it had like some things that I was just kind of like, this could have been done better.
Yeah.
And I'm not
can
really
we-
caring
can we
for like
all-
this one particular like constant like obsession, but
Yeah.
it was fine. Like, it had like some decent setup that they could carry on into new seasons, and they could actually like make this Australian
Really flesh it out.
Pacific Rim story, and I would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
But they just got really weird in the second season. It's just like, you could do that, but you need to push it out over like 2 more seasons to make it so that it actually like flows together and doesn't feel like you're pulling stuff out of your butt.
I'm sorry, I had to call my excitement, because it's just like, like, don't you get the same feeling like when, all right, like, it's an amazing idea, right? And then, like, the idea is just not fleshed out, right? Like, it's like,
It wasn't
it's just,
executed
like,
well. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it could have been something so like a legendary anime.
Yeah, no, poor execution kills so many good anime out there.
Yeah, like so many good ideas, and they can be repeated, you know?
Let's move on to the
Yeah,
next
like-
show.
Next-
Well,
Yeah,
what's the next anime we're gonna talk about?
Well, since we've been talking about Pacific Rim, I kind of need to talk about this one, especially this one's for Professor Shinobi since he couldn't be here. Love After World Domination. So this is a show I'm enjoying the heck out of.
Yeah, it's visually striking. Yeah.
I just love it so much. And the best part is the first episode, the couple gets together, and so we're just living in the rarity of now that they're together, how do they function as a couple, especially when one of them's a superhero and the other one's the supervillain.
Yeah, the other one, like when like the first episode they're meeting was like kind of shocking, like seeing the skulls on her. And I look at him, he looked like a Power Ranger. But I mean, it's like I'm looking at the dynamic, and I'm like, yo, she's giving him cookies. I see that they're fighting the exact people that look like the girl that I just seen. I mean, and then like the way that they power up, I swear it's Mighty Morphin.
Well, yeah, no, this
it's Super
Sentai joke.
Sentai. It's a Super Sentai joke, is what
But
it is.
I love that they're based off of desserts. Gelato Force 5.
God.
Bro, and it's funny, they got a G on their belt, like it's a Gucci, bro. They name G, like, you know what I mean? But it's hilarious, like the way that like it's done. Like I can watch the show and enjoy it. Like it sounds like something you can enjoy. You know what I mean?
It's 100% super enjoyable, super wholesome. Oh, my heart melts every time I watch this show.
I just kind of look at the character for this, and I'm just like, she's a villain. No.
She's so adorable. You can't.
No, she's not a villain.
So the villain thing is like a family business. Like her dad was a foot soldier for the bad guys, and eventually, and for whatever reason, she's crazy strong. So there's an episode where the Green Ranger apparently has a past with the villain girl. He doesn't know that the villain girl is a villain. Like he just knows her, and they saw her and the Red Ranger together as a couple for like the episode before. So like the Red Ranger and her in civilian form are had a beach party with the rest of the team, and the Green Ranger has the saddest backstory with her apparently, because he was like a top tier martial arts dude at his dojo, and then one day 7-year-old Decimi comes into the dojo, and the first thing she does is like
just wrecks everything.
Well, yeah, she's like, my dad told me to come here because I keep every time I try and punch things, it breaks. So they brought me here to get some discipline or something like that. And Green Ranger at the time, he's like 13 or something, so he's like, she's 7. What's the worst that could happen? It's like, go ahead and try and punch me. Let's see how good you are. She punches him. He doesn't fall down. He stands strong, but he's like, oh my god, my life just flashed before my eyes. This little 7-year-old almost killed me.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the dojo shuts down because the sensei tries to teach Decimi something, and she just wrecks him. So he's like, I'm closing the dojo. And then
wow.
And then her and the Green Ranger have a back and forth history of them training together, where she thinks he's going easy on her, but she's just beating the snot out of him every time.
Oh, that's Saturday. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like the shattering of your ego.
Yep.
I mean, your pride.
This just sounds just like such a ridiculously silly show. Just like
it's very silly. But it's so heartwarming when we get to the romance stuff. The Red Ranger is such a meathead, but he's so sincere. It's so great.
But I mean, just like from an objective standpoint, he is a little suspicious for just rolling around with the enemies. The same.
No. He is literally so straightforward. Like he knew her from both partially online. Like he's seen some of her Instagram posts or something, and just the few times they have met in battle, he's like, she's awesome. I kind of want to date this.
Roll back. They have Instagram?
Something like that. It's partially normal.
The modern world with smartphones, Andrew. Of course, it's got some form of Instagram at this point.
Okay, I was under the impression this was like medieval isekai.
This is just Power Rangers. So
this is just Power Rangers.
Got it. Okay, that makes way more sense.
Getting more girls than me.
I mean, look, man, Power Rangers, they're pretty cool. They know how to fight. They're very stylish.
Yeah.
Andrew, if you watch the show, you will fall in love with the Yellow Ranger.
Oh, don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. I have enough anime waifus. I don't need more.
Yeah,
I mean, mine's
always
a
have
this
more
whole
monotonous
sort of thing.
assist.
It really comes down
Monotonous.
to whether a show is like actively like trying to be like serious or if it's just trying to be just like ridiculous. If it's trying to be ridiculous, then you evaluate it on just like, is this ridiculous in a fun way? And if so, then it's a good show.
Ridiculous,
Yes,
good
yes, it is.
ridiculous, the bad ridiculous, you know, like.
Yeah.
But then you know what one, like the middle point, I feel like Mob Psycho kind of takes that the middle of kind of goofy, just you like they're kind of not being serious, but they're serious.
Yeah, Mob Psycho does that. It has its moments, and season 2 kind of flips the switch and makes you just feel all the feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and season 3's on the way too.
Season 3 is on the way. Let's move on to the next show because I just will say, Love After World Domination, great show, and if you like Power Rangers or Super Sentai, just great show, great show. Let's see, what's another show we can talk about? Because
Bring
most
it
of this,
in. I got the list in front of me. This is amazing. The list is in front of me.
yeah,
There were a lot of good shows this season. I
Tokyo
reiterate.
Revenger, let's agree real quick that Tokyo Revengers is savage. Like these 15-year-olds make me feel so insecure. Like yo, you was that?
yes,
You was
Tokyo
that cool.
Revengers from winter of this year or last year.
It was a while ago, I
You was
think.
that cool at that age. Like fuck.
So yeah,
Crazy.
winter.
And it's like
We're talking about newer shows. So unless anyone has a different show, I'm gonna bring up one more show before we switch over to another popular show out right now, and it's Birdie Wing, Girls Golf Story. And
Okay, yeah. Birdie Wing. It's only a matter of time before they made a golf anime. Yeah, give us a scoop here, man.
I've
Sell
only
us.
just heard of this, and I'm curious as to how you're going to describe it.
Okay, so
I did
by the
not-
way, Jeff definitely just made a video on this, so proof that the show is worth at least a little bit of a look. But the main concept is our lead girl Eve. She's basically an underground golfer. Like she's part of the golf mob. that's the first part.
the underground golfing circuit.
Yeah, she's part of the underground golfing circuit. She's really good, but it's only because she's got like ridiculous power. Her whole thing is that she doesn't strategize. She just hits the ball and it just goes flying. Like that's her main thing. And
Like how deep can you strategize with golf? I'm curious.
I mean, you're supposed to be able to strategize like with curving the ball, using the right
Oh yeah, like the arc of the ball. Like I played a few games. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
The
like
arc of it.
there is strategy in golf, but it's like she's just instead of like precision, she's a freaking sledgehammer. Her whole motif is that she is Rainbow Bullet Eve. She locks her eyes on the target and shoots straight for it. Literally in like the second episode, she was on a course that curves. So the best way would be to play like three different angles since she can't curve a shot yet. But she goes, the hole is that way, right? Lines up the shot, and then the other best thing about this show is that she has special moves for her shots.
Does she?
Yes. So she lines up the shot, winds back, and she goes, blue bullet, and launches it
Knew
through
it had a
the
name.
forest.
She shouts her attack name.
Yes, she does. She shouts her attack name. She launches it through the forest. And the only reason it didn't go as far as as she wanted it to is because it broke through a tree branch and it stopped its momentum.
So let me.
Jeez, that
I'm
is
pretty sure that I've already got this, but does she only use a driver?
No, she has three different. She has three different clubs. She has a driver, which is her main thing. She has like a wedge or something. I can't remember what type of it was, and then she has a putter for sinking.
Okay, so she does actually use like each of the different things. She's just not like just all driver all day, nothing else.
Yeah, but most of the time she's hitting with that driver and getting as close to the pin as possible.
I mean, that's a legitimate
I do have
strategy.
a question though.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, like, what is the part? Because it's a golfing. Like, what are the parts of anticipation? Like, she's in the underground golfing circuit, so like the I don't know, enemy, the part where you feel like anticipation, like fear for
Okay,
the main
so
character.
there's a lot that happens because technically the whole golf mafia thing is a
Golf
B plot.
Mafia.
That is the B plot of this show. The A plot is that she eventually meets a world ranked golfing girl from Japan, and honestly, they're totally gonna be girlfriends. Just getting that out of the way, those two are definitely gonna be girlfriends by the end of the show, if they aren't already. And the whole thing is that this girl is a prodigy and is beyond good. So when Eve meets her, I think her name is Aoi, and she's just like, the thing about her is that she normally breaks other golfers' spirits unintentionally. Like, she's just so good and she plays with such a love for the game and just smiles. And everyone playing against her is like, what is with this girl? And Eve meets her and it's like, you are good, but I'm going to beat you. And that is the premise of their relationship.
We got a good rivalry
least
going,
it's
is what it sounds
competitive. I
like.
love
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, like choice rivalry right there. Like that's
Yeah.
always a key for anime.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I'm reading-
love that on Aoi's golf ball. She has Pac-Man painted on it, and so when she hits it, it's like, fly Pac-Coon.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Like, the
I
show
don't
is
know,
great.
I might check out a couple episodes.
You
of
should
this
check
just
out
to
a
see.
couple episodes because it's wild, and then you get to see, once again, in the B plot, there is a whole setup for a randomized underground golf game where they have these moving trailers that change up the terrain to make any golf course
shit.
possible.
What?
Oh, that's anime for you, bro.
Yeah, that's
like,
anime as fuck.
they
This is
took
anime
even
as
golf
this is taking golf and making it almost like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
Oh my
take
God.
it's like
But
golf
all the fights to the death.
settles the most randomest stuff.
I'll watch a couple episodes just because I'm curious to see how, like, it's a sports anime, so they have to like play up like the different like moves and stuff, and it's like, this is golf we're talking about. The
Yes.
famously like, haha, just very light tap.
Yeah, clap, 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 clap.
Clapping.
Yeah.
And it's like, and just otherwise just dead silence.
Yeah, no, this
That
this
always
show
made me
somehow
anxious.
makes
Like, how do they add excitement to
Lord.
this show?
Japan finds a way to add excitement to anything. They can make anime out of food, out of golf, out of friggin' weightlifting. Man, there's just a magic with anime. They can make anything super duper hype. It's scary.
It's especially great when you find out that one of the people Eve plays against apparently lost her arm at one point and was playing with a prosthetic arm. And she played and she had to keep up with Eve. She had to swing so hard that the arm broke.
What the?
Well,
Dedication, like that's dedication. It's dedication right there.
Okay,
So like I said,
okay, that's pretty
Birdie
hype.
Wing is dope and you need to check it out. All right, so moving on to
Yeah. I was just gonna ask Trey, like, is it like genuine? Like, this is really like dope to you, this show? Because if so, I might check it out.
Yeah, no, it's legitimate. I am not anything I say is not me playing it up. This show is hype and I love it. It's just anime enough to get me through the day, and it's like, yeah.
Because duh.
So moving on, let's talk about Love is War. Kaguya-sama Season 3, Love is War Ultra romantic.
The season is really moving forward with character progressions. I said this to Drew at one point after I watched like probably the 6th episode of season 3. It's not just a rom-com anymore. There are commentaries about high school life and, again, trying to fit in socially and finding yourself in this show. And we see those themes play out not just through Kaguya and the president. We see it play through all of the characters in the student council, as well as some side characters outside of the student council.
Yep.
One of the highlights that exemplifies that I saw was this scene where Miko, she joins Ishigami to the meeting where they're trying to like decide, okay, what's the theme going to be for this year's school festival.
Yep,
We got to come up with a slogan. Again. And yeah, they're doing the culture festival, and of course, like Ishigami's been part of this hype club for a while now, so he's not super shy when he enters the room. He's very gung ho like the rest of them.
It's like he got over it from the sports festival / he's got a crush on the lead chair lady.
Exactly. So he has a massive reason to be there. Miko, on the other hand, she is still at the point where, personality-wise, like, she's very strict. She feels like you can't mess around. You have to get straight to the point. Like, no fun allowed. If you're having fun, that means that you're goofing off and being irresponsible. So when she hears 2 or 3 students all come up with very, like, ridiculous, over-the-top slogans, she slams her hand down on the table and says, like, guys, we need to take this seriously. Stop messing around. And one of the girls in the room immediately counters that and says, we are being serious. We are trying to come up with good ideas. If you're so smart, then why don't you give us a pitch? And immediately Miko panics, and she looks around the room and realizes that her outburst has ruined the whole mood that the room had. Everybody's either upset or sad or angry at her.
I mean,
and she panics.
Real.
Yeah, she panics in the moment. She's like, oh my god, what do I do? And like Ishigami considers helping her at one point, but she manages to stand up for herself and remind herself like there is a reason to be there, and that if she is more self-confident, like she'll get across what she's trying to say. She approaches them in a little bit more of a productive attitude after that. But that's just one example from a very recent episode.
Character arcs like that.
Yeah, there's lots of character arcs, but the big talking point with season 3 is that Kaguya and the president, their relationship is actually moving forward.
Yeah, Shirogane and Kaguya are inching ever closer to possibly confessing to each other, but who knows? They've got more. I'm pretty sure the manga still has like 2 more seasons to get out of it.
Yeah, the manga is pretty large and ongoing. It's a Shonen Jump manga. However, I have not read the manga. I can't say what actually happens there, but I can say that the big motivating reason for why their relationship is finally progressing after 2.5 seasons is because they had the episode where all the kids had to do their career counseling with their parents and their teachers and decide, okay, where am I going to go for college? What's my career going to be moving forward? And the president, he acknowledges that he wants to go study abroad at Harvard. Kaguya doesn't have any idea yet of what she wants to do because she never really, up until this point, had the freedom to decide for herself where her life was going. Before she met the president, her life was always dictated by what her family decided for her, what her family thought was proper for her to do, including archery, which she has actually abandoned by the time that the show has started in season 1. So the president, he acknowledges, okay, so I'm going to study abroad, and when that time comes, I'm not going to be able to date Kaguya. I can't. You know, like, I'm going to be halfway across the world studying my butt off. So if I'm going to have a high school romantic life with her, I need to confess now.
Yeah,
we only have a year left. We only have our 3rd year of school, and then that's it. There's not a lot of time.
Yeah, that isn't a lot of time.
Yeah. But on the less serious side, we get an awesome rap battle.
Oh my god!
Oh, I think I've seen
like to rap battle me.
That episode was so full of cringe, but then I started like nodding to the beat of the president's rap that he had put together after all that training that he had put in.
Send me a clip of that. Oh my god.
It's gorgeous. And then Hayasaka, she joins in on the rap too. She counter raps the president.
Yeah.
I was like, it's actually a really well animated episode.
They also
And
have a special ending on that one, I believe.
they do.
Was that
I
like
noticed.
a battle for ideologies? Like whoever
No, it
wins-
was just proving that the president could actually rap, because the whole joke is that he sucks at just
He
about
sucks.
everything he
Can't
does.
do it.
Yeah.
Like anything
It's cool
that
that you
involves
rap.
kind of fun, he sucks at it. Like when it comes to chanting for the school, like singing the school song, doing karaoke, making balloon animals, he just sucks.
And that's
Yeah,
everything
pretty
was
much.
Our Achilles heel.
Wasn't the other
it's-
thing he tried to do was like volleyball or something?
Yes, also volleyball.
Yep.
Like
If it's any artistic or sports-like
And
expression,
that spawned a meme.
the president is incredibly inept. Like 100% just doesn't get it, can't do it. I respect the fact that he tries, but he is always so awful at it that even watching him play volleyball or listening to him rap wants you to immediately vomit.
Pause. Like sometimes I just skip things. Like you know what I mean? Like in the anime, oh cringe. Oh my god. Get
Yeah,
this.
yeah, but this is a cringe episode you gotta sit through. The rap episode is it spawned a lot of really good memes, and it's a very well animated, very well choreographed episode with a lot of good character progression in it. So
Yeah.
it is worth the cringe. I will
Get
I will
that.
tell
Like
you
I
that.
love fleshed out characters.
And
man.
I
That's
hate
just
cringe.
dope.
I hate cringe. I can't stand it. I want to curl up and
Yeah,
die
it's
whenever I see these things in anime, but this is one episode that's worth it.
Yeah, so,
Um,
like,
Sorry, go ahead, man.
what's some more like a spring? Because I'm gonna be honest, there's so many new spring animes. Cause can I be real with you guys?
mhm.
I feel like there's a revolution happening in all of anime right now.
I would hope
'Cause-
so.
Yeah, because like Bleach is finished. Bleach
Oh
is
my
coming
God.
back and it's gonna be finished.
Bleach
and
is
Oh my
coming
God.
back. Oh my god.
Well,
Naruto
we're definitely gonna
finished.
talk about Bleach when it comes out. Like, I definitely want to make a video
that's the
about that.
I understand what you're saying. It's a lot of old shows that people never thought would get continuations are getting continuations.
We're getting it's like we're getting Best McRonald's back.
Yeah,
Devil
we're getting Best
is a
McRonald's back next
part-
season.
Timer.
It's like,
Devil's a
oh my
part-timer.
gosh.
Holy shit, dude.
And
Devil's a
also,
part-timer.
I'm finally getting Spice and Wolf season 3. God damn.
I can't believe it's happening, dude. Like
It's happening.
we joked about that for years, being like, Spencer, just give up. Just give up
I
now
will
while you
never
can,
give
okay?
up, and I was rewarded.
Never give up. Never give in.
Your endurance was heavily rewarded. You did well. I applaud
I'm so
you.
excited for when that finally comes out.
Man, a true supporter. Take my hat.
All right, so
Yeah.
couple more shows to get through. I'll probably just speed through some of these because most of these are my picks. Unless someone can stop me at any point and be like, I have something I have been watching. But the next one I want to bring up is the brainchild of Studio Mappa. So once again, top tier animation, Dance Dance Danseur.
What is
And-
what?
Oh my god. I can't count
What
how
is
many
it
times
called?
I've seen it,
What is this?
like,
I don't
scrolling.
think I've even actually heard of this one.
Dance Dance Danseur.
God, Mappa, you guys gotta chill out. They're making
So-
like every anime every season.
So it is a shonen style ballet anime because the show starts.
Ballet.
Yes, ballet. So the show starts with our lead character he was interested in ballet like at a very young age. He went to a ballet once and saw one of the lead guys dancing, and he was strong and graceful, and just fireworks went off in his eyes.
Damn,
And
the
he,
lead character's not even a girl. Doing
yeah, the
ballet?
lead
Like,
character is a dude. So this is a shonen. Like, it is focused on a male character.
oh. Yeah.
Is it-
same.
into ballet.
Is it like battle dancing?
No, it is not battle dancing. It's ballet. It's literally ballet. But
Art
well,
style looks like something I'd see in like a shoujo manga.
you would think, yeah, their necks are ridiculously long. Like, it's-
Yeah.
Oh
this
wait,
is-
I
this is,
saw the Gigak video where he made fun of the necks. That's right.
What was the what's the thing way back when that had the super long necks as part of its art style? There was like something specific.
I remember-
You're
I
talking
vaguely
about anything from Cardcaptor Sakura.
No, it wasn't That's specifically, what was it?
Clamp. Yeah, pretty much anything
Yeah,
clamp related.
Anything clamp related.
Yeah, Clamp made Card Captor. They made Kogias.
The long necks.
Had an obsession with long necks, which is like, my guys.
It's because it's for the female gaze, but no, Dance Dancers are. But it's
call me a female gay. I'll take it. I like the necks.
Yeah, the reason their necks are so long is because ballet is all about the long striking positions and all that. So the animation probably needed the long necks to show how graceful they are. And so, but the long and the short of it is our lead character was into ballet when he was really young. His dad died, and because his dad was a stunt guy, he was like, I gotta live up to my dad and not do something so girly. So he learned capoeira. Was it capoeira? Or it was some type of martial art, and he learned that for years. But the new girl in school he has a major crush on finds him at his house, and it's like, you did a triple kick earlier. Can you do it again real quick? He does it, and it wasn't as good because the first one he did was like a ballet style plie almost. And so she brings him to her family's ballet studio, and he just goes nuts in there because he finally has the space to move, and he feels it. He just loves ballet, and he's like, I finally have the space to move, and he goes wild in there. And the show just keeps going on from there. He develops a rivalry with her cousin, I want to say. I actually don't know what the relation is. I just know he's
wait, Paul, wait, stop, rewind, what?
So he develops a rivalry with her cousin in dancing. Like, he is like the son of a prodigy Russian ballet dancer. And when she died, everyone was like, you need to be better, and was literally beating this kid to be better at ballet. So he is like I have to be the absolute best and most perfect at ballet to live up to this legacy that they have forced upon me.
Oh, that's wild.
So like episode 6 is like one of the best climaxes because they are putting on Swan Lake, and our two lead guys basically face off, and it gets he breaks the lead guy breaks choreography, but it just turns out so good.
Got it.
Like,
okay. Like, you know what's really pulling me in? The fact that it's like I would be so satisfied. Imagine a guy in a toupee he knows ballet skills mixed with martial arts, like whooping your ass. like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a feminine and masculine. Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's dope,
so yeah, that one's made by Studio Mappa, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I'm like, I didn't want to watch a ballet anime this season, yet here I am watching a ballet anime this season.
The ballet anime chooses you. Yep, that checks out. Okay, yeah, I guess I may as well check this out too.
And then this is the last one that I will like say you should watch. This is a show called Aoashi, which is a soccer anime, and once again, this is just sports anime hype. It's more grounded, but the whole thing is that our lead guy is literally the definition of, guys, I am the best player on this team, and I will carry us to victory. Just give me the ball. And 9 times out of 10, he can do that. And so he finally gets the opportunity to play for basically the junior pro team, the biggest youth sport team in Japan. And it's like he goes through this whole process of trying to try out for this team, and it is an uphill battle every turn. But the one thing he has that gives him a slight edge is he has this ability to kind of just recognize everyone's position on the field, and he will just zone out and make the most unbelievable plays and score. And then when people are like, dude, that was awesome, how did you do that? And he was like, I have no idea.
Why does this sound like Kuroko's in the basket?
A little bit,
mean,
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
He just
A
has
little bit like that.
hyper awareness that is
You have, like,
basically
the
a
eagle eye
superpower.
view of the entire court
the whole-
field, and it's just like, I see all the spaces. I know what needs to be
You
done.
know what? You know what? I might give this a try because I love Kuroko. Kuroko is some hype shit. So if this is even somewhere close, all right, man. You know, I hated soccer growing up, but I'm sure I'd find something to like about it.
Yeah, I was always picked as the goalie. I was always picked last for soccer.
Dude,
Have a
playing
deep
soccer,
seated,
like, did you ever get hit in the nuts by the ball?
Multiple times.
Fortunately, no. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, good, because that's why I stopped being goalie, because it happened 3 games in a row, and I was like, Coach, please.
Yeah, I gotta
Please.
put me out.
You gotta protect the McNuggets.
I mean, like, what would happen is, like, my whole defensive team wouldn't be anywhere near me, so it happened multiple times, and once I finally collapsed, then they'd score, and of course the ref didn't call it for some stupid reason.
Well, it's not like it's not like they're aiming for it unless they were purposely
Oh,
kicking you.
I mean, like, that happened a couple times, yes. They were purposely kicking me. The Nebraska soccer team is not worth joining. Please never be part of it.
Nor
All
the
right.
Columbus, the soccer team. But I was just thinking in my head right now, just how we see the spring lineup of anime. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, and I'm looking at the ones before, and I'm starting to see that anime is like expanding out of, because it was usually strict to swords and fighting. Now it's going into like Komi Can't Communicate, Kuroko's basketball, sports, anime, soccer, and fantasy, isekai, personal fantasies of people. Like, it's like I could see it going into every genre, because it's like a style of writing. You know what I mean? To me personally,
Yeah,
like
no,
even the way
Anime is not a genre. It is a medium.
yeah,
It holds potential for every genre and every type of storytelling out there. And the diversity has been within the medium of anime for quite a while. However, there were only a handful of shows every year, every season that were talked about, right? You know, everybody kind of watched the same stuff. We have so much more diversity nowadays than ever before, to the point that everybody's probably watching something a little bit different. There are the 1 or 2 mainstay shows that like everybody checks out each season, but there are literally hundreds of new anime that come out every year now.
thousands maybe.
the
You
volume
could
has
make an argument that
expanded.
that's a bit of a bad thing at times, though.
It's true.
Definitely.
That can also be a
That's
double-edged sword.
It's like we have all of the stuff. Oh God, we have all of the stuff.
Yes.
We have too much. There's
It's like you're spoiled for choice, but then the choices cannot always be great.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
it kind of
that's true.
converges back in on itself.
But thankfully, this season in particular, we've had lots of good choices. Not just lots of choices, but
Big
good
years.
ones. Like, you were spoiled for choice when it came to picking an anime that you'd enjoy. So, like, we've all named off shows here that I haven't seen yet, and I really want to check out now, because it sounds like I'm missing out.
The ones I really want to check out is definitely which one? The book one. The
Ascendance of Bookworm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. And I really just wanted to check out probably the Kaguya Love is War.
Oh,
I didn't get
dude.
into that.
Yeah, you've been
You'll
missing
love
out.
it.
talk to me
You'll
about
love it.
Like the progression. Like I love fleshed out characters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm definitely gonna get into that.
And you
So
said
which
that
one-
you said that you were looking for more like funny, like comedy anime to watch too, right, Mello?
Yeah.
So
Like,
this
don't
will
jump
this will definitely scratch that itch, I promise.
Yeah, I will also recommend one more comedy anime. I won't go into it, but a good comedy anime out right now is Aheron-san. It's kind of like Komi Can't Communicate, but the difference is she's just tiny and nobody can hear her because she's so small.
Got it.
Bro, did you guys watch a Silent Voice? It's like another anime movie.
Yeah, I
you know what
watched
Yeah,
mean?
we watched that.
Yep.
You
Saw it
know,
in
the
theaters.
writing on paper thing. I don't know if that's Japanese, like for naive, like innocent. I mean, like writing on paper and just showing people. I see that happening a lot. Like, cause I've been going into the slice of life animes a little more because I'm starting to see like, yo, creating impact, like emotional impact, without having to hurt anyone, and that's kind of like dope. Like I'm yet to see, because even in the West, in our writing in movies, there has to be an explosion or two. You know what I'm saying someone has to die, like, but some of these in these slice of life, it shows you like just complete like I don't know, it goes against the grain of a normal story of like a hero going on a journey. It's like just a dude that's been OP, or I mean, and then it's like a whole different array of storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what,
why I
man.
think,
There's way more anime out there than just Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen. It's way more. It's just that you don't hear about them that often.
Yeah, let's
gotta
one
search.
last show. We'll finish up with this final show. It is one of Andrew's favorites. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Great transition, because yes, Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie is a show that I have been proselytizing for the last like 2 months now. I have been telling everybody about this show, not because it is the funniest slice of life out there, nor is it really like the most romantic, or I wouldn't say it's like the most hype show, but what makes Shikimori so special is that it is a very what's a good way to put it? It's a very comfortable show. The romantic comfort of Shikimori is something to be beheld, because most romantic anime out there typically are a will they won't they scenario. It's a Ross and Rachel narrative of these two characters who clearly have feelings for each other, but are they gonna confess? Probably not. We only have 12 episodes, and most of the show is going to be comedic misinterpretations or miscommunications between the two that either pushes them apart or just adds all these funny conflicts. However, Shikimori is not like that. In this show, the couple have already gotten together before the first episode even starts. They've been dating for at least a little while, a few weeks, maybe a few months.
Think it's a year, actually.
Okay, actually, it's been a year. There you go. Thank you for correcting me. They've been together for a while, and the majority of Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie simply follows the dating life of the two main characters, Shikimori and Izumi, and it shows them learning more about each other and learning how to overcome their anxieties about themselves, and depicting scenarios where Izumi, for example, will take Shikimori to the movie theater, but he's really worried about like how it's going to play out. He's like, should I hold her hand during the movie? At what time should I hold her hand? What movie should we go see? All the questions that come up in your head when you are dating somebody for the first time and getting to know them. That's what this show truly tackles. And this is something I complained about a lot in our rom-com podcast.
Trey, you said that they were together for a year?
Yeah, based on the most recent episode, they are close to a year now.
So
But was that at the beginning of the show?
The beginning of the show, I guess it would be closer to 8 months.
Okay, that I guess makes a little more sense with the scenarios that Andrew's describing.
They've been together for a little while. They are still very awkward. They're still Japanese teenagers who like are too shy or too like, I guess, embarrassed to say what they're truly feeling at times. But the majority of the show is really just watching them go on dates, watching them interact with their friends, getting to know each other a little bit better, and having a good time. Most rom-com anime try adding some type of needless miscommunication or conflict in the middle to quote-unquote spice it up, right? To give viewers something to stick with or follow up on. But Shikimori doesn't do that. It doesn't have to. It's meant to just be a relaxing time where you just enjoy the dynamic between the two. And I think there's something to be said about watching a romantic story between two characters where everything turns out okay in the end. We don't get a lot of that.
You don't need conflict. I feel like that's like a revelation in and of itself about stories, that you don't always need conflict. Like watching a story play out in the way that your mind already imagined it isn't a bad story as long as it does things that what I mean, that are new. Like every romance you can say is different. You know what I mean? Like and has its own uniqueness in different ways. So it's like, especially in rom-coms, like because they're like, since the ones I've watched are like very predictable in the things they do. But seeing something like that, like actual just pushing the narrative without any like, it's like they've been together in the show for a year already, so the innocence is gone. They're together, you know. I like
Right.
that. That's new.
And at the same time, there is still some innocence between the two. They are still getting to know each other in a lot of different ways. And
It's like it's how they haven't kissed yet. They
haven't kissed yet. They are moving very slowly. This is true. But don't take my words out of context either, because it's not like there aren't problems. They do have small issues here, like small miscommunications from time to time. But what makes Shikimori different is that they figure it out by the end of the episode. And the next episode is a different date with a different scenario, but they still figure it out by the end. And the two main characters really complement each other very well. On top of all that, let me just briefly describe the two main characters. Shikimori is very cute. Yes, like she's very attractive young girl. She's very nice. She's very polite. She's also a badass at specific moments. Like, she comes off as incredibly cool, especially whenever she plays a video game or she plays a sport or does anything competitive. Suddenly she becomes like blessed by the luck gods and the cool factor gods. In fact, her full name, Shikimori, roughly translates in Japan to quote unquote cool protector.
Oh shit, that's fire.
Which leads into the next part, Izumi. He is not just a klutz, he is cursed by bad luck. This isn't confirmed in the show, they don't straight up say it, but he is so unlucky that a hole will rip in his pocket and his wallet will fall out as he's walking to school. He will nearly get run over by a truck every single day.
Oh,
If he has to do anything competitive, anything at all, no matter how simple it is, everything will go wrong. He gets sunburnt incredibly easily. Trying to save a little girl from drowning in a river, he saves her, and then he falls in and his leg cramps up. And then he starts drowning. So, Shikimori is the one who comes to his rescue.
He's his knight in shining armor, and she is amazing.
She is his knight in shining armor. Like, the roles are totally reversed in this couple. But at the same time, Izumi recognizes this about himself, and he always endeavors to be better. He spends hours trying to come up with ways to prevent his bad luck from getting in the way of a date. He will pack a whole backpack worth of spare clothes, spare wallets. He will split up his money into 3 different wallets to make sure he still has some left by the end of the day. He will buy her gifts. He will tie his cell phone to his wrist or to his belt. Like, he does everything he can because he also wants to be the cool boyfriend who can sweep Shikimori off her feet from time to time. Yeah. So
sounds like this kid needs to have a talk with Milo Murphy.
Yeah, well.
So
I think they're cousins. That's probably the problem.
They most likely are. They're probably related. Shikimori is not just a cutie. Is not heavily talked about this season. And I figured it wouldn't be. As soon as I saw Yor from Spy X Family, I knew that Shikimori was going to fall into the background a little bit. But this show is great if you don't want something super stressful. You don't want a really dramatic, like, will they, won't they situation. If you just want to watch a couple characters fall deeply in love with each other, and just, if you want things to turn out well for them, this is the show for you. It's a show where you can kind of just feel happy, and you can feel like you're just watching their daily lives play out. That type of, I'm not sure what the word for it is. That type of vibe.
Yeah, but it's just a vibe. The show is just a vibe.
That attraction to it, like watching like certain animes like that, is because like we're so attuned to watching battle, or you know what I mean, or something that has to do with conflict on some level. just watching something that actually plays out and it has like a moral compass of goodness and not doing bad. And it's like, and like how you said, like every episode, like I'm definitely gonna put this on my list. You know what I'm saying? Every episode, and it's probably gonna help me get more girls. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
It's like you must
wondering,
figure
like,
out how Izumi got
learn
this
something.
girl.
Right?
Well, actually,
you're wondering.
it's not a complete mystery because I keep forgetting Izumi's freaking tall.
Hey, he's
Like,
He's taller than
Five eleven.
Shikimori, which is
That's true, he
crazy. Because she looks like she should be like 5'9", and he's definitely hitting close to 6 foot.
he's a little bit tall. Izumi is also like very Bishonen looking. So, you know, it helps him a lot. Basically, Mello, like, in order to get girls, you gotta be handsome. That's all there is to it.
Or you gotta be an adorable klutz.
Got to be rich, handsome, or I don't know, rich and handsome. It's probably
Rich and handsome, not ugly, not awkward. You know, basically everything I'm not. So, you know,
just
learn from me.
But I do. But what I really meant, like, to get out of it, it's just like I love shows like that. Every episode, you learn something new. I mean, that's just like the learning factor, even if it's interpersonal relationships, because that's one thing that no one has a class on, I mean, unless you're a psychology major.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shikimori is not just a cutie. I can't recommend it enough. I've made several videos, like joke videos talking about it, but I do want to make like a legitimate 5-minute commentary video at one point about its highlights and why it's worth giving a shot. You know, it's not for everybody. I'm not going to say it is. I can definitely see some people wanting more like conflict or more action out of it, and that's not what Shikimori does. But what it
Those people are wrong, by the way.
I mean, you know, it like yes, they are wrong. They are wrong. But I empathize with the complaints that some people have at the show. I've heard people call the show Shiki Mid, and I'm like, look, it's not for everybody, but for
they hit you with the mid.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's for the cultured. It's for the cultured. I will just say that. So you know, if you watch Shikimori, please hit me up and tell me what you think, because I enjoy the show very much. And I like talking about it with people.
Yeah, I definitely know for a fact, though, Andrew and everybody, you know what I mean, that anime is definitely 100% moving into the family matter, like, you know what I mean, like family, romance, and sport. I feel like it's really going to start down, like, over the next year, 2 years, from what I'm seeing previously. And a lot of these, I don't know if the isekai may continue, you know what I mean, but this season specifically, like my personal favorites has to be like just how you said like Shikamaru is just not a cutie. You know how like there's just anime for certain times of like how you feel. You know
I wanna watch a show called Shikamaru is not just a cutie, all about Shikamaru from Naruto. Like I wanna watch romance anime of his life where he tries to hit on Tamaru.
Please check out our Naruto.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, right.
We would all watch that.
Dude, we'll make an abridged series called Shikamaru is not just a cutie.
Oh my god.
I would literally watch that myself.
Think about the views. Think about the views. I'm telling you.
To try and edit lip flaps like that.
I know, I'm gonna kill myself trying to edit it, but it's worth it.
You're just gonna pluck all the seams with Shikamaru and Tamari or something? I don't know.
Basically.
But I think that about wraps it up. There are tons more anime. There are several more that I have on my list, but for now, I think we've listed off plenty. We've been at this for 2 hours. Let's call it a day, folks.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today. Hey, please continue the conversation down in the comments section. Tell us what your favorite anime is this season. Tell us what you're looking forward to next season, and let us know why Birdie Wing is all the hype.
I'm more interested in the soccer anime, to be honest. But yeah, Birdie Wing sounds legit too.
Please, it's like feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please check out our social medias. We've got you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a subreddit. It's like we are out there, people. Just look for us.
Everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It's love.
Yeah, for all things video games, anime, and comic books, please check out our main website, advent7.com. I'm Trey, and I was joined today by Andrew,
Shikimori, yeah.
Mello,
Yes, sir.
and Spencer.
Bookworm.
Definitely not Pacific Rim. Not if you learn anything from this podcast, don't watch Pacific Rim. Stay the frick away from it.
Watch it, see what you think about it. But
My love.
It's like, if you like convolutedness, I guess watch Pacific Rim. But we've been Advent 7, and we will see you all next time. Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Okay, and we are